Today, I'm going to talk about a very interesting topic called What is Love? We all want to love and be loved. But do we all know what love is? I'm going to quote a few excerpts from the discussions on youth by President Ikeda. And I'm going to add in my own insights and research. Quote, the agonies of love are many and varied. Each person has their own character and personality. They have different backgrounds and circumstances. So there is no set rule that applies equally to everyone. Whom a person dates is also a matter of personal choice. No one has any right to meddle in your private affairs. However, I, that is Sensei, would like to stress at the outset how important it is not to lose sight of pursuing your own personal development. Love should be a force that helps you expand your life and bring forth your innate potential with fresh and dynamic vitality. That is the ideal, but as the saying, love is blind, illustrates, people often lose all objectivity when they fall in love. If the relationship you are in is causing your parents to worry or making you neglect your studies or engage in destructive behavior, then you and the person you are seeing are only being a negative influence and hindrance to each other. Neither of you will be happy if you both just end up hurting each other. If you are neglecting the things you should be doing, forgetting your purpose in life because of the relationship you are in, then you are on the wrong path. A healthy relationship is one in which two people encourage each other to reach their respective goals while sharing each other's hopes and dreams. A relationship should be a source of inspiration, invigoration, and hope. Love is a complex matter that is a reflection of each person's attitude and philosophy towards life. That is why I believe people shouldn't get involved in relationships lightly. The bottom line is that without respect, no relationship will last for very long, nor will two people be able to bring out the best in each other. Rather than becoming so love-struck that you create a world where only the two of you exist, it is much healthier to learn from those aspects of your partner that you respect and admire, and continue to make efforts to improve and develop yourself. The author of The Little Prince once wrote, "Love is not two people gazing at each other, but two people looking ahead in the same direction." It follows, then, that relationships that last longer when both partners share similar values and beliefs. Furthermore, please don't succumb to the view that love is the be-all and end-all. Deluding yourself that is as long as you are in love, nothing else matters. Nor I, that is Sensei, hope, will you buy into the misguided notion that sinking ever deeper into a painful and destructive relationship is somehow cool. All too often, when a relationship ends, the great passion it once inspired seems nothing more than an illusion. The things you learn through studying, on the other hand, are much more permanent. It is important, therefore, that you never extinguish the flame of your intellectual curiosity. Far too many people nip their own brilliance promise in the bud because of the blind pursuit of love. Much of daily life tends to be ordinary and unexciting. Making steady efforts day to day can be trying. It is not always going to be fun. But when you fall in love, life seems filled with drama and excitement. You feel like the leading character in a novel. But if you lose yourself in love just because you are bored or try to find a replacement, and consequently swing from the path you should be following, then love is nothing more than escapism. What you are doing is retreating into a dream world, believing that what is only an illusion is actually real. Even if you try to use love as an escape, the fact is that the euphoria is unlikely to last long. If anything, you may only find yourself with even more problems, along with a great deal of pain and sadness. However much you may try, you can never run away from yourself. If you remain weak, suffering will only follow you wherever you go. You will never find happiness if you don't change yourself from within. Happiness is not something that someone else, like a lover, for instance, can give to you. You have to achieve it for yourself. And the only way to do so is by developing your own character and capacity as a human being, by fully maximizing your potential. If you sacrifice your own growth and talent for love, you will absolutely not find happiness. True happiness is obtained through fully realizing your own potential. I would also like to add that embark on a relationship as an escape from something extremely disrespectful to both your partner and yourself. When we say escape from something, which means escape from your boredom or your loneliness or your broken past relationship. Each of you has a precious mission that only you can fulfill. To neglect one's mission and seek only personal pleasure is a sign of selfishness. It is impossible for an egotistic, self-centered individual to truly love another person. On the other hand, if you genuinely love someone, then through your relationship with them, you can develop into a person whose love extends to all humanity. Such a relationship serves to strengthen, elevate, and enrich the inner realm of your life. Ultimately, the relationships you form are a reflection of your own state of life. The same is true of friendship. Only to the extent that you polish yourself now can you hope to develop wonderful bonds of the heart in the future. With some people, however, once they have gotten into a relationship, they have a hard time saying no to the other person for fear of losing them. In that respect, love is like riding in a car with no brakes. Sometimes, even if you want to get out, you can't. Even if you regret having gotten in, the car won't stop. In many cases, people get involved in a relationship thinking they are free and independent, but at some point find they have become captive to the relationship. Each one of you is infinitely precious. Therefore, I, that is Sensei, hope you will treat yourself with utmost respect. Please don't follow a path that will cause you suffering, but take the road that is best for your well-being. The truth is, ideal love is fostered only between two sincere, mature, and independent people. It is essential, therefore, that you work on polishing yourself first. Years ago, when I was in Toronto, I attended an SGI meeting. There, I saw a kit wherein a woman had her hair in curlers, polishing her nails before going on a date. Another member came along and said, "You must polish your inside also before you can embark on a satisfactory relationship." I know quite a lot of people want to get married. That is me, I'm saying. They want to get married either because they are lonely, or because the clock is ticking, or because of family pressure. But if you do get married for the sake of marriage, it's not going to work. I, that is me, have seen lots of cases like this ending in divorce. So please do not rush. Sensei once said, "If you sincerely chant Nam Myoho Renge Kyo and practice hard for the happiness of yourself and others, you will shine from within. You are so attractive that tens and thousands of people will want to marry you." It is demeaning to be consistently seeking your partner's approval. Such a relationship is bereft of real caring, depth, or even love. If you find yourself in a relationship where you are not treated the way your heart tells what you should be, I hope you will have the courage and dignity to decide that you are better off risking being scorned by your partner than enduring an unhappy relationship. Real love is not two people clinging to each other. It can only be fostered between two strong people secure in their individuality. A shallow person will only have shallow relationships. If you want to experience real love, it is important to first sincerely develop a strong self-identity. True love is not about doing whatever the other person wants you to do or pretending you are something that you are not. If someone genuinely loves you, they will not force you to do anything against your will, nor involve you in some dangerous activity. Please have the confidence and fortitude to think to yourself when you face rejection. It is their loss if they can't appreciate how wonderful I am. This is the kind of resilient spirit you must strive to cultivate. Please don't let a broken heart discourage you. Tell yourself that you are not so weak or fragile as to let such a minor thing bring you down. You may think there is no one who could possibly compare to that person, or how will they compare to the next 100, the next 1,000, the next 10,000 people you will meet? You cannot declare with certainty that there will not be others who far surpass them. As you yourself grow, the way you look at people will change as well. I read an experience wherein a woman member met her ex-husband years later in the street. At that time, when she looked at her ex-husband, she said to herself, "How could I have married this man? He is not even worthy of my love." I suppose at the time of her marriage, she had not fully developed herself and could not see clearly who is best for her. We too, unless we grow and are very happy and sure about ourselves, chances are that we don't really know who is best for us. Now, this is me talking. Now go back to Sensei's guidance. I'm sure quite a few among you have had your hearts broken or been badly hurt, and perhaps feel unable to go on. Your self-esteem breaks down. But you must never believe that you are worthless. There is no substitute for you who are more precious than all the treasures in the universe gathered together. It is important for you to become strong. For if you are strong, even your sadness will become a source of enrichment, and the things that make you suffer will purify your life. Only when you experience the crushing, painful depths of suffering can you begin to understand the true meaning of life. Precisely because you have experienced great suffering, it is imperative that you go on living. The important thing is to keep moving forward. If you use your sadness as a source of growth, you will become a person of greater depth and breadth, and even more wonderful you. Now, having talked about what love is, I found another article from Soccer Spirit called What Love Is Not. A lot of us don't even realize what is not love. So here it goes. What seems to be love sometimes may not be love at all. Love is not love, as Shakespeare once wrote. What seems to be love sometimes may not be love at all. As much as the subject of love occupies many people's minds, and perhaps much of their time and money, their greatest concern seems usually confined to finding love or becoming lovable in the eyes of others, rather than the meaning of love or the capacity of loving. The underlying assumption of such an attitude may be that love is a feeling of pleasure and comfort only to be stimulated by an external object. The usual remedy for life without love, therefore, is to find that object, someone new and better. If love is one's capacity to wish and act for the happiness and freedom of another person, a fundamental solution to the suffering of love must be sought not outward, but in the development of the character and inner strength that make us capable of loving more genuinely and powerfully. To master the art of loving is to overcome the desire for control and dependency. One of the greatest obstacles to the joy of loving is our desire for control. We sometimes mistake our wish to control others for our love. We may think of ourselves as affectionate, yet our love may be a disguised desire to manipulate others for our personal gain. In his writings, Nichiren Daishonin often uses a mythological Buddhist creature called the Devil King of the Sixth Heaven as a metaphor for the deep-seated human desire to control others. Indeed, another name for this Devil King literally means a heavenly being who makes free use of others. Through his lively descriptions of this devil, the Daishonin seems to indicate the importance of becoming aware and vigilant of our desire to use others as a means to our selfish ends. Since dependency is essential to control, the Devil King uses various schemes to make people dependent on him. One of his main tools to encourage dependency is manipulation through insincere affection. Despite the general perception of Devil King as a fierce monster, he is skillful at appearing affectionate. To lure people and keep them under his control, the Devil King is said to make himself look like a Buddha or parent. Those who are eager to control often appear affectionate, taking care of them or being nice to them with the aim of keeping them dependent materially or emotionally. The truth of love is found in our sincerity to act for the happiness and freedom of others. It is easy to mistake control and dependency for love, the appearance of selfish love. However, like that of the Devil Kings, is only deceptive, for it is conditional to submission. As the Daishonin points out, the Devil King is affectionate so long as the person does not try to depart from his control. For example, parents. A lot of parents want to control their children. Some people may give anything to their loved ones only to keep them dependent. I can give you an example. My ex-husband's father, because my ex-husband is the only son, and he wanted to control the son within his own realm. So instead of helping him grow, he just keep the son with him and would not let him grow and establish himself. So the son became very weak and dependent. And this is a very, very selfish act indeed. Those obsessed with control, however, usually find it difficult to wish for the genuine happiness and independence of others. Instead, they would hope to see others deprived in one way or another in order to maintain their sense of superiority. The test of our love in this sense lies in our sincerity to encourage and work for the self-reliance and freedom of our loved ones. Those who thrive on domination may easily show pity for others in suffering, while inwardly delighting at the sight. For the misery of others affords those in control yet another opportunity to show their superiority, and thereby remind those suffering of their need for dependency. At the core of a relationship built on domination and submission lies a profound sense of insecurity and powerlessness in both sides. Those who want to dominate cannot verify the meaning of their existence on their own, so they must derive a sense of power from the subjugation of others. Similarly, those who easily submit to an external authority cannot see their self-worth, so they feel impelled to become part of someone better and stronger. By abandoning their identity and integrity. To such submissive people, control means protection against their own insecurity. Those submissive to an external authority do not see their lives as worthwhile to live for, but they cannot endure the emptiness of having nobody to live for either. So they must seek an external object with which to merge their identity, so that they may not face the weakness and emptiness of their own lives. To love truly, we must free ourselves from the fundamental darkness from within. To love truly, we must be free. To be free, we must discover our inner self-worth. One of the greatest impediments to our ability to love is a delusion about the truth of our inner life, Buddhahood. Such delusion leads to powerlessness and dependency. The mythic Devil King is symbolic of this illusion, as the Daishonin says. The fundamental darkness manifests itself as the Devil King of the sixth heaven. To shed light on this inner fundamental darkness, through strengthening our confidence in Buddhahood within our lives, by chanting Nam-myoho Renge-kyo, by doing Kosen Rufu, by joining SGI activities, and to learn about the theory of Buddhism, is the essential practice for the art of loving. Now, another kind of love is possession. Sometimes we say that we love that person, but really, it could only mean that we want to possess that person. And when we feel rejected, we think we are hurt from within. But in fact, it is our ego that is hurt. The more rejection we encounter, the more we want to possess. This is common in human nature, but this is definitely not love. When you are rejected by the other person, and you keep saying that, I love that person, this is not love. Love is about respect. If the other person rejects you, which means that you are not the one for him or for her. So you must respect the person's wish and gracefully end this relationship and start polishing yourself. And then a better relationship will come. We have to be very aware of our partner also falling into this category, as this will mean that you will lose your own identity, your own space and path to grow. Lastly, I would also touch on parental love. All parents love their children, but a lot of them do not know how to love their children. They tend to do everything for them, give them the best material things they could afford, scold or criticize instead of encourage, try to control or dominate. They have no patience nor time to talk or listen to their children, and they think that they own, O-W-N, their children. These are some of the things that parents may do, thinking these are the correct ways to bring up their children, but instead they are ruining their children's life. Buddhism teaches us to respect everyone, including our children. The way to love them is to respect, listen, encourage, coach them to be responsible, independent, and respectable people, someone who can take care of themselves and contribute to the happiness of others. The best parental love for children is to give them good education and to help them grow. We must also realize that although our children come into this world through us, we do not own, O-W-N, them. They are individuals and have their own lives to live. We, as parents, should not stand in their way of good development, but to be ready to provide support when they are in need. I will end this meeting with the following excerpts from SGI's publication on the wisdom of creating happiness and peace. The title is The Life State of Practitioners of the Mystic Law, describing 3 characteristics or qualities of practitioners of Nichiren Buddhism. President Ikeda calls on us to be courageous and filled with hope as we build a self that can bring forth joy at all times. What characterizes the life state of genuine practitioners of Nichiren Buddhism? First of all, it is having no fear, F-E-A-R, fear, not being disturbed or daunted by anything. Lies and deceit abound in society. It is foolish to allow ourselves to be swayed by such things. It only leads to unhappiness. The mystic law and Daishonin are absolutely free of any falsehood. The wisest possible course, therefore, is to dedicate our lives to the widespread propagation of the law, that is, Kosen Rufu, to teach other people about Nichiren Buddhism, teach them how to chant, to study the theory, so they will become happy. On account of our faith in Nichiren Buddhism, we may from time to time encounter unpleasantness from others. We may also find ourselves working much harder than many around us. But that is all part of our Buddhist practice. For instance, I have a lot of times been criticized by other members for my sincere advice given to them. But, well, it is just a message for me to do better, that's all, and I'm not disturbed. The Daishonin teaches that we can attain enlightenment in this lifetime. This entails weathering the trials of the 3 obstacles and 4 devils. But if we can do that, we can attain enlightenment in this lifetime and enjoy the boundless life state of Buddhahood throughout eternity. This is why we need to forge ahead fearlessly, positively, and courageously come what may. The second characteristic is living with vibrant hope. Nothing is stronger than hope. The mystic law is a source of eternal hope. People who never lose hope, no matter what happens, are truly happy. The main thing that people really like about Nichiren Buddhism is that it gives us hope. The third characteristic is a state of life in which we bring forth joy at all times. It is to have such joy that even at the time of death, D-E-A-T-H, one can say with a heartfelt smile, "What a wonderful life that was. Now where shall I go next?" That is the life state of a genuine practitioner of Nichiren Buddhism. Our Buddhist practice enables us to achieve an expansive state of being in which we can enjoy everything in life. Rain or sunshine, hot or cold. We can enjoy ourselves in all of these conditions. As the Daishonin says, faith in the mystic law is the greatest of all joys.